Welcome back to Lately with Lex, everyone. I'm back. It's been a while. I haven't done a show. It's been a little crazy, a lot of family drama. But what's the best way to rekindle your show is with a spicy, fun guest who is a good friend of mine. Mr. Nicholas Williams is back.
Thank you for having me.
What's up? What's new? Give me
Oh
a
my
little
God.
life update on producer Nick.
Yeah, lots been going on. Producing both narrative works and other commercial client work, stuff like that. And yeah, it's been good. It's been a lot of moving around. Everything's going good here.
Yeah, been crazy. The
Nice.
typical crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy to do a show every week. Now I do mine live, which is insane.
We tried to do a live one. It was pretty. It was crazy.
It's way more nerve-wracking. Like imagine how
Yeah.
remember how like nervous you were when we first started doing podcast stuff?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, well, the first 10 episodes you're not going to air at all." And
No,
and
we
then
didn't air those.
right.
Full
And
disclosure for people that don't know, Nick was the first producer I had.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's seen it all.
all all. And but then you go live and it's like a whole new world because there's no
Yeah.
redo and that
No.
pressure.
Like what you say can't be like taken back. Do you know when we said at one point, JJ and I had said, why don't we just do live shows so they just go up and we don't have to like,
That's why I do mine
let's
live.
just do it. Let's not edit it. Let's not have time.
Exactly.
Like, let's just do it. And it turned out that a lot of the people that I wanted to have as guests
Mhm.
wouldn't do the show because it was live. They were like, we're not, they'd book with it and then it'd be like, oh, no, we can't. It's live. We don't want to. Like, what if we say something bad? And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, then just don't say something bad. Like,
Yeah,
don't
I've
say
never
something. Like, I feel like
understood
you should
that.
stand by what you, if you feel some way, you should be able just to say it. Like, I don't understand.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, I say a lot of stuff that on the outside can sound a little crazy, but like if you go back and listen to it, you go, "Man, he's right. He was right.
But I
It's not
think
that
that's what
crazy." I
happens
just
in
have a
media.
passionate way of delivering it, that's all. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think that it makes it entertaining.
Well, that's the industry that we're in, is
Yeah.
the entertainment industry. I tell filmmakers all the time because I talk to like my show is geared toward filmmakers, but I tell them all the time like there is no such thing as the film industry or the you know what I mean? Like that's like a word that
Yeah. Unless I feel like
colleges
you're
use to get
living in the
people.
editing room only, maybe you could call
No,
it
but no,
that.
but even still, like the industry that you're in is the entertainment industry. If you're an editor, your job is to make the edit entertaining and tell the story the correct way so that people are entertained. Like the end goal of any industry is the customer. In the entertainment industry, it's the audience, which is the
Yeah.
customer. They buy the tickets to the movies. So if you're not entertaining them, which like in a horror film could be like scaring them. If you're not scaring them, then you're not doing your job. That's not entertaining, you know?
Yeah. I guess now I look at all video different after like working with you, working with Josh, working with JJ, working with everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you notice things when you watch other people's
Oh yeah.
podcasts. You notice how, different edits, different cuts, even reels. I'm like, why would they put that as a reel? And then now you can tell, and I'm guilty of using them too, but like Opus reels and stuff, like you can tell that they're so generic. There isn't any like thought behind
Oh
them.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that weeding that out now is going to be more difficult, but
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole Opus obsession right now.
Well, Opus helps you
Crazy.
create clips like very quickly. It's good if you're
I've used
alone.
it many times, so I
I've
can't
used
say
it
shit.
too. I've used it too. And it's not bad necessarily, but for me personally, like I like to make clips that have a little bit more of a like a personal
Yeah.
touch to them that are like, exactly to the point. Opus is it's generic.
It's AI.
Yeah, AI editing.
And
And
I
it's
feel that, despite us not working together, we still always kept in touch.
oh my god, yeah.
I feel like we are a toxic relationship
Mhm.
because we are a lot alike in some ways.
Yeah. And it's interesting because we both at different times play the battered housewife,
Yes.
you know? It's like sometimes I
Yes.
feel beaten and torn down, sometimes you feel beaten and torn down.
I think I'm not really like a crier. I think I've shed more tears with Nick.
No, yeah, but like I'm the kind of person where if you start crying, I'm like, what are we doing? Stop crying.
Yeah.
That's enough.
But
Can we get
yeah,
back
you're
to
not like
work?
validating why I was upset. You're
Well,
just
because it's
like,
usually bullshit. That's
yeah,
why.
usually it's like dumb. Like, I can't figure this out. You're like, then fucking look it up.
Yeah. It's true.
Like,
It's
what are you
true.
doing?
But I'm not a liar. I never lie. Always honest and always trying to be helpful. Through the screaming and yelling, it's always like, here's the reason we got to do it this way, you know?
Do you know when you first left and you put out that video about that client? For a
Mhm.
quick second, I thought it was about me. And I was like,
Really?
well, I was like, I always pay. First, always paid.
But that's why I would
Don't,
be like, yeah.
yeah, always paid.
No, yeah,
But
like,
it was like a cliffhanger, little clip. And it just happened to line up. Like the timing was just
that was brutal.
impeccable. And I came up and I was talking to JJ and I was like, what could this even be about?
I was thinking about this recently, like, why I am the way that I and we can get into, like, what we're gonna talk about today
Yeah.
too, but, like, why I am the way that I am, like, I'm a firstborn, right?
Same.
And growing up, like, I was never allowed to get away with anything. And I was a
No.
fat kid, so I would do stuff like sneak the cookies from the pantry. And there was one time where I would, like, shove a cookie in my mouth. I'll never forget it. And my dad, like, caught me before I was able to swallow. You know what I'm
Did he
saying?
make you spit it out?
No, but he would be like, he'd go, Open your mouth. What are you doing? What's in your mouth?" And he would just be like, I
That's
can't."
me.
It was the disappointment, he just like, "I can't believe you would do that before dinner," like
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so now it's like, it's not when I get like uptight about something, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's like this presence of my mom or dad
Yeah.
around that's like, if I was doing that, I'd get slapped. So
Mhm.
like, don't do that. It's like trying to save you.
Yeah.
And I have to do that in a way.
Well, and then when I saw it, I laughed, but also felt very guilty because
Hmm.
I was the one who introduced you to this person that caused you so much grief.
Yeah.
So I felt
Yeah, but my point is if you're gonna
guilty.
be shitty, like, you're gonna be shitty. So I'm the same with everybody.
Yeah.
If it had been you, I would have made the show about you. But I'm also not an asshole in the sense that I never said their name,
No,
and
you
I'm
were
not gonna
very
put
good.
them on blast. I'm gonna tell it like it is, and sometimes I do it just to blow steam off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, it's business. It's not
Yeah.
there's no hard feelings.
But I think what I,
She's just a horrible person
yeah, I mean,
with a
what she did
horrible
to you is
business.
terrible.
Yeah, but,
And
like,
if you guys want to tune into that, we'll link his show
oh, yeah,
so
you
you
should
can
watch
see
that
it. You should
episode.
watch it. It was
Not if
very
you're, like,
interesting.
squeamish, because I say some shit.
Yeah, no, he was very
I was very direct, very honest, very straightforward. That's who I am, you
yeah.
know? And some people can handle that and some people can't.
No.
But I also so I've known people, especially in Boston and the East Coast, there are a lot of people who have an attitude of like, I don't like anybody until you give me a reason to like you. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm the opposite. And sometimes to my detriment, but I give everybody a chance.
Yeah.
I start off with I'll like everybody, and then when you reveal yourself to me, that not you, but I'm saying in
Yeah.
general, that it's like, oh, you're a shit person, so like I'm good. I don't need
And
you in my life, and you can go away.
I also
You
think it
know?
adds a different element when it comes to like financial things. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
it's not about like, yes, that person was a client of mine, and that's fine, but I don't want to do business with people that act that way.
No.
Like, I don't
But I
need
did
that
feel
money.
guilty. I was like, "Oh my
Oh,
god." Not that
no, you
I
had
had
nothing.
anything to do with it.
No, you had
It
nothing to
was
do
just
with it.
wild. But through it all, uh Nick and I have always been on top of Instagram, just messaging each other reels, different things,
Mhm.
conspiracies. I mean, now are they really conspiracies at this point? I feel like a lot of them are. They're legit.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. They're
You know what
legit.
it is? I wanted to, like, preface this by saying, because 'cause we're so passionate, and we both did, podcasts and episodes during Trump's campaign where we were, like, very on board with Trump.
Yes.
And it's not and I don't apologize, nor do I take back anything that I
No.
said during those podcasts, but one of the worst things you can do to me, and this is my not you, but anybody, one of the worst things you can do is lie to me. And, like, making me feel stupid, that's, like, a great way to get me to explode.
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely feel like we were passionate about certain subjects, we were told certain things, and then none of those things happened.
Yeah, I definitely feel that everybody that was it was almost like you were like bamboozled, like
Oh, I feel bamboozled. Yeah.
we came
Duped.
out, yeah, we agreed, but I also think there's a very big difference between Trump first time and Trump now.
He aged like 50 years in
He,
between the
but
2
they all do.
terms.
Have you ever noticed that? Like, not to say like I'm not making
Yeah.
excuses for him. I'm just saying like
No, I'm not making
they
excuses
all
for him at
make.
all.
But then there's so many things. Like none of us know exactly really what his job is like. right? So all of what we're doing and what we're
Sure.
saying is speculating based on the information we had, and the videos we made previously
Yeah,
were made based on the info
okay.
that we have.
So
Now we have new info and we have different opinions on
here's
what's
my
going on.
thing though. I think it should be illegal for any politician on left, right, center, I don't care like what you're if you say you're going to do something and you get into office and do the exact opposite, as an example, if you say, in my first term there were no new wars and I'm somebody who isn't going to do new wars and I'm going to create a golden age for American small businesses and stuff like that as a small business owner
Yeah.
and as somebody who doesn't really think that blowing other people up is a good way to be, then when you come into office and you don't help small businesses and you attack a place that's going to cause our gas prices to go through the roof and say it was a defensive attack when they didn't do anything to us, that's a problem,
So I
you
have
know?
mixed feelings because
You're for the war in
no, but
Iran? You
no,
heard it here first,
no,
folks.
let me finish. It's
Sorry.
not what I said. I
JK.
had a very different opinion until I actually went to San Diego a few months ago.
Different opinion on what?
The war in general, just
Okay.
Iran in general. Because honestly, truthfully, I don't really look it up, right? Like I didn't look it up. I wasn't doing my research on it. But I met this woman who is probably one of the best people I've ever met in my life, who was
Who,
from
me?
Iran,
Oh,
and
I'm not familiar.
she was saying 90% of us don't agree with what's going on over there with the regime that they have. We want to be done with this. We want this to be gone.
I don't care.
But they feel, and I'm just telling you what she said to me.
Sure, sure. I
They
have a rebuttal
feel
for it afterward.
they feel like 10% of the people agree
Mhm.
and they want this regime and they like all these rules and all these fun things that they do.
Yeah.
Terrible things, to be honest with you. And they looked at this as Trump was given an opportunity to break this down to help the real Iranian people,
Mhm.
which sounds good, right?
Mhm.
But then again, I look at it also as I don't know why we're the police of the world.
Okay. I'm gonna take it a step further. The economy sucks right now. It has been exacerbated the shittiness of the economy
Mhm.
because of the war in Iran, but it was shitty before. Okay. And my point is that regardless of whether or not people feel like we should or shouldn't be the police of the world, I don't want to pay for it.
I
I don't
agree.
think that we should be spending this money on the war in Iran. It's only putting us trillions and trillions more in debt.
Mhm.
I wasn't a fan of sending help to Ukraine, not because they don't deserve help, but because I don't want to pay for it. And we're also on the other side of the world, and we're part of a community of nations and NATO and stuff like that. They can help. What do? We pay for everybody, and I feel like the rest of the world tends to think of America as the Disneyland of the world. Like you can just come here and you can pillage and do whatever you want to
Yeah.
do, and it doesn't matter, and all that. And that's like not the case. And the problem is that we are the biggest consumer economy in the world, and so we buy a lot of things, we spend a lot of money. There's lots of tax dollars that go all over the place, and then we're kind of left holding the bag, not able to pay rent or mortgages and things
It
like that. That's a problem
it
to me.
just seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like the most enslaved, now this is going to get clipped wrong, but like enslaved people would be the people in America working, funding all of this, but yet we can't afford to fill our gas tanks.
Yeah,
You
my
know, it's
point
just
is
like you're
like so
constantly working for a machine that isn't
sure.
working for you.
Right. So growing up, what was a way that like people would describe America like if they were coming here? Like if you
Opportunity.
opportunity, road, golden
Yeah,
streets and
my family's
all
all
this other
immigrants.
stuff.
Like, I mean,
Sure,
all from
Greeks and
Greece came with nothing,
yep,
literally with nothing, and worked in sausage factories.
yep. And they were given the opportunity to work in the sausage
Yeah.
factories, all that stuff, right? Okay, great. My point is that when you think of America now, it's like fat, sick, stupid people and I don't a lot of people come here and then also shit on this place, which I'm not a fan of.
If
They
you
wanna
don't
reap
like
the
it, then leave.
benefits. Yeah, and that doesn't matter. You could be from Ireland. I don't care if you're white, black, wherever you're from. It doesn't matter to me. If you don't like it here, why are you here? Number 1. Number 2, how can we can't is the answer, but how can we afford to pay for overseas wars, help in Ukraine, help in Iran, help with Israel, all these different places, and then we still have homeless people here? Like, if we were all sitting
Yeah,
pretty,
beautiful.
amazing, everything's
No
good, we're all paying
potholes.
no pothole, but like literally no potholes, no BS. There's no, poverty. There's no issues here. Everybody's fine. And then we have a surplus. Then I feel like, well, yeah, we have a surplus. We should be using that surplus
Yeah.
to help other people. But we got homeless people. Our veterans are like the least taken care of people in the country.
There's a conspiracy around that.
Of
It's pretty
course there
big.
is. So you have a country with 3 to 4 times as many firearms per person, like than there are people.
Mhm.
And we train the absolute best military in the world, lethal, the most lethal people. Do you want those people to be strong when they come back, or do you want them to be weak and not able to fight back against a potentially tyrannical government, which is our God-given right, which is what we said in the Constitution? But the problem is that if you keep them strong when they come home from war, and if you treat them and keep them on their shit, then they have way more potential to do what we did in the 1700s. And
Do you think that's like what we're getting to?
I think people can only take so much. I think people can only really take so much pain and suffering before. I mean, if you corner a dog, it could be the nicest dog in the world, very,
Yeah.
very sweet. If you back it into a corner and, beat it, eventually it's going to want to bite back. And I'm not advocating for any sort of violence or any sort of revolution, but there are a lot of people out there who just don't really give a shit.
Well, I think a lot of people are angry and they want answers.
Yeah.
I mean, between fraud alone, I mean, the fraud is insane. I mean,
Hmm.
these daycares, all, and that's just like the
And
icing.
this
That's
is
not
going to
even, that's
be
just like a media one, but I'm sure there's other things. Like I see it in my local town, let alone like
this is going to be kind of
state.
a shitty way to put this, but it is what it is. I honestly don't even care about the fraud if we're all okay. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
saying?
I'm saying though. If
It's like if we're comfortable and if we have the bread and circuses, if we have the means to like live our lives,
yeah,
and then there's other people who want to do fraud, like yes, they should be prosecuted, but like on a day to day, whatever. There's
yeah,
fraud, there's bad people, there's bad people that are here that aren't like immigrants, that you know what I mean, that do bad stuff. So it is what it is. But when no one can survive and grocery store prices are through the roof and gas prices are through the roof and everything sucks for the people that live here, but if you want to be Somalian, whatever, and you want to have billions of dollars funneled back to your homeland, that's a problem. Where's me? I can't pay the rent. It's like that's
I
an issue.
agree. I think that people are angry. I think the Epstein stuff is huge. I think a
Mm.
lot of people are mad
What?
about
And
that.
can we talk about what is one thing that you and I specifically talked about regarding Trump? And one of the things that, like,
Drain the swamp.
no, 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 no. Back it up. I'm saying you and me would talk about the thing with Trump is that he's all about your favorite word. Starts with an O.
Optics.
Bingo. What the fuck were the optics like around the Epstein thing?
The
What a
optics were
fucking
bad.
fumble.
It
Oh my
was bad.
God.
It was bad. But I don't
Whether there's a conspiracy or not, the optics around the release of these documents was horrendous.
it should have just been out. It should have he should have just done exactly what he said. Give If he just threw that bone out and just said, "Here are the documents,"
Yeah.
it would have been fine. But I think now I have had the disgusting privilege to be part of this group where they actually use AI to help you search for things within the documents. Like I'm part of this. It's kind of wild. I'll add you to it. And you can read because I'm like, this is gross. Like, are we really
Mhm.
doing this? Like these analogies, like we clearly know what this is.
Mhm.
And if he just let it out fully without the redacted names,
Sure.
I think that it would have just went people would have just been murdering people. And I think that in his mind, he
Maybe.
was
I don't
saying,
know.
but there's plenty of names that we know who they are, and
I'm
those
not
people
even
haven't
going
died
that
yet.
way. Pam Bondi saying that she has all these files on her
And then there's
desk
no
and then saying, well, there's actually nothing. We're just kidding. It just doesn't look good. And
no.
the one thing, so I'm a big underdog guy. Like, what kind of movies do I like? I like Rocky because he's the one that people don't think is going to win. He wins in the end, kind of deal. I like stuff like that where the person who you least expect it
Yeah.
works really hard and then comes out on top. And I like people that are like that. And you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of
Yeah.
vibe that is very me. And so I liked the fact that Trump was an asshole, especially since I'm kind of an asshole too. I like the fact that Trump presented himself like this billionaire asshole, but that he was going to come through and save the economy and save America to the extent that people who didn't like him would have to go, well, he's an asshole, but I think he did a good job. Because that was the whole vibe was like, yeah, we
Yeah.
need an asshole to come in here and like do this the right
Mhm.
way. And he just totally fumbled the bag. He just totally fucked it all up. And it's the most disappointing presidency that I've seen.
Yeah.
And I've been around since Clinton. Okay.
So I
So
feel I feel that it I know.
like, and this is
You put
more
it that way.
and this is more disappointing than that.
But I
So
I think that it he loves when people dote over him and love him. I don't think he is in a good place right now. I think he knows that his approval ratings is next to none here.
but that's why this whole situation doesn't make sense to me.
But that's why I don't think it's him doing the decisions.
M- Maybe, maybe
But I don't
not,
think in
but
general he doesn't make the full decisions.
yeah.
Everything he's ever done, let's just go real quick. Like he's only ever done executive orders except for the one big beautiful bill. There has been no new laws passed. Nothing has changed. So then once the new guy comes in,
Mhm.
anything he's done is going to be gone anyway. So nothing he's leaving is substantial. It's no
Except this
exactional
war
change
that nobody
except
asked for.
yes, and the fact that everyone is mad at everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone there's
I think it's funny you say that because I do think that there's a little bit less like in 2020 by the end of his first term, right?
mhm.
Obviously we had COVID and all that crap, but by the end of his first term, we were like extremely divided. Like Trump no good versus Trump is a
Yeah.
second coming of Christ. Like those two types, you know what I mean? And and now I feel like there's definitely more of a divide on the right. It's pushing more people to the left. Um
I think it's gonna be a third party. I think that's what it's going
I
to
don't
be. I
know.
don't know if
I
it will
don't
be
know.
successful, but I think there's going to be. I think there's gonna have to be. Because think
Maybe.
about it. The left is
And
no.
by the way, I'm not talking about things that I want or don't want.
No,
I'm saying like what
it makes sense though.
right, right, right,
It
right,
makes sense.
right.
Truthfully, and this is just my opinion, like
Sure.
you should have I don't think a president should be either side. I think there should be a person in the middle who's like, I want to take good qualities from this side, and this is how we're going to implement them. Because I don't think everything the left does is bad. And I don't think everything the right does is good. Right. You know what I'm saying? There
Sure.
might be good things within both parties to then make something good happen. Be the
Mhm.
person in the middle, kind of pick what you want.
You're saying
I
as a president.
yes,
Yeah.
but I don't if someone asked me today, they go, "Alexis, are you a Republican?"
Oh,
And I said, "I'm a conservative," but that doesn't necessarily like I
isn't
vote
it interesting?
conservative.
Because it
It
did
you
kind of divide it a little bit. It
it's
used to
very
be,
different. It
yeah.
used to be like if you were conservative, you were a Republican and crazy MAGA. And truthfully, with what we were told in the beginning, I mean, I was sitting here in a red freaking dress. Like
Mhm.
we
I had America socks on and
yeah,
a blue
we
suit.
were it was very patriotic. We were really into this whole thing. And
Mhm.
then now I'm like, what are we doing? These aren't the values that I thought that were going to come to the table.
Yeah, nothing that he said he was going to do is what he has done. I
And
haven't seen the benefits of
I
any
think
of it.
that
And I'm so sick and tired of hearing about how the stock market and the 401ks are through the roof. Like
but that doesn't help
that
your everyday person
it
trying to
doesn't
fill
help
their
your everyday
gas tank to
person.
go to work. It doesn't.
It
It
really
doesn't
doesn't.
help the small businesses. And I can just tell you, I'm in a service-based business, like you're a service-based business. Business is down. Like there's no sugarcoating it. No one is out there killing it.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
don't buy it. If they are like there's something going on, you're doing deals maybe with corporate, it's not you're not getting those clients in because I think a lot of people are very uneasy with the economy. They're very nervous. They don't want to spend a lot of money right now.
Both of us, one thing where we can relate on our businesses is like both of us work in a luxury service.
Yeah.
So like you're in health and wellness, but on the sense of like cosmetic health and
Yeah.
wellness. You want your skin to look pretty, you want to look good.
Yeah.
My whole job is like creating videos and putting stuff out there for people,
Yeah. For small
producing work
businesses to help them
for
get
small, right, exactly, and that becomes like a luxury. One thing that I'm seeing in my industry right now, at least on the corporate side, is people are starting to hire like an 18-year-old kid to be their social media person, and they'll
oh,
try like 3 or 4 things that
it
like don't
fumbles
work,
every time.
and it's like the fifth listen, it maybe you get somebody who's really into it and follows trends and stuff like that, maybe. But like it's my whole life. That's my entire life. This is all I know how to do. And so when you compare that to the 18-year-old $15 an
You
hour
can't
employee,
compare someone
you
experienced to
know,
someone younger. I think as a business owner who's been in that decision making spot where you're like, I want the A plus work, but
Mhm.
I can literally only afford like hiring my cousin who's 15 to do it.
Mhm.
You know, it comes really down to money and the fact that these clients aren't coming in and spending money, how it's hard to build the capital to then spend money to do
100%.
it. You know what
Right.
I mean? Because
Exactly.
the other thing that especially a lot of med spas, and this is where a lot of you guys get scammed, is you buy these online courses, you work with these marketing people, and there's no definitive number that like you can't tell me, Alexis, if I make you a video right now, you're gonna make X amount of money.
Sure. Right.
There's no value to it dollar wise. So it's hard when you're in it, you're like, hey, let's hope. Let's
Sure.
hope these get the
Well,
clicks.
and this is why, like,
And now
from
I have to dance in front of a camera. Like, I don't want to do that shit.
right, right. Well, you have to. That's the thing is like there's no other option. And on top of that, I think one thing that I've been kind of transitioning toward is more on the consulting side of stuff where like yeah, I can make the video if you want me to make you a video and you can spend 5 grand if that's what you want to do, but I know that it doesn't really go anywhere. And so for me, going into a business, I found that it's a lot more beneficial to have them hire that 18-year-old or whatever. I'll come in and create the entire strategy of what it is that you should be doing and recording over X amount of time. Um, and then that's where I leave it off. Is
Yeah.
like, here's the plan, here's what you implement. And it's more cost beneficial to the clients
Mhm.
and they can implement more stuff over time. It's just it's not the 80s and the 90s where you make one commercial and then you know, bring it
Yeah.
to your local cable station. It just doesn't work that way
I
anymore.
I can't I never knew how expensive commercials were.
They can get up there. They can get
Like,
up there for
who
sure.
even watches TV?
Nobody. Nobody. And they don't talk about the fact that you could spend 5 or $10,000 on a, minute and a half commercial, right? Bringing all people in, all that stuff. But that has nothing to do with paying to promote it on YouTube, Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, whatever it is. And that's like a monthly recurring cost. And so a lot of business owners are like, this is ridiculous. And what's the ROI? What's the return on investment? A lot of people
Yeah.
can't put a number on that, like you just said.
Well, I think so my friends that are killing it are businesses that are like they're selling a product.
Mm,
Because people are still buying shit, they're just not getting services done.
right.
And I think in my case, for my business, I think TikTok is a huge problem for me.
Why?
Uh, so TikTok promotes non-influencers
Mm-hmm.
to rep these brands,
Mm-hmm.
and these influencers have a lot of influence on these people. So the clients come to me and they go, "Oh, I'm doing this. This girl showed me how to do this. I microneedled my face at home. I fucked it up, but it looks pretty good, right? Can you fix
Yeah.
it?"
Right. Right.
So now I'm the fix it queen. Now I have people getting scars, permanent pigmentation, all this stuff. And then they're buying their product, but they want me to consult with them on how to use it.
Yeah, and
And
your
I'm like,
response is like,
listen,
"This is the wrong shit." Yeah, that's like
I can't
me.
be responsible for like you using other people. I don't even know what's in it. Like,
Right.
no. So I think that TikTok has caused a very big problem in aesthetics. And I hate the fact that I have to be a content creator to get clients to
Sure.
come in. I think it is bullshit. I can like fully say I can get you better results with your skin than probably half of the people that are in the industry.
Sure.
But I have to dance on a on a phone to get you to come in.
Dance
Like
like a monkey. You have to. Come on. Dance. Yep.
no.
You have to. Because if you don't, and this is my point, is like
Someone else does and they
whether
get the
you
clients.
want
I
to or
know.
not, if you don't do it, somebody else will, and they'll do it. And even and the worst part is watching someone do what you should be doing badly and getting clients
I know, it
out of
pisses me
it.
off.
And you know in your heart that you could do it better, and you don't do it because you're afraid of what people will think about you on that's ego and that's your own fault.
I
You know what
know.
I mean? If you don't do it. So you gotta do it.
I know.
It's and that's part of the way we ended up here.
I
Um,
know. Built this huge studio.
yeah. And it's
And do I use
beautiful.
it?
Yeah,
Crickets, guys, crickets. I'm not up here. I
I
know it's
know.
terrible. I should be up here all the time, but
Yep. Call me. I'll charge you a small weekly fee to
I,
just whip you into shit.
no.
Get up there and film.
I know I should. And it's sad, but I think that like any business owner, you get so busy in like the day to day
Mhm.
that you're like, I gotta
Not
do
an
this, I gotta do this,
excuse. Not good
I
enough.
know it's not a good
Not a
excuse.
good
I know it's
excuse.
not a good excuse.
You gotta do it anyway.
But I did read like a long time ago, I think I told you this, that a lot of these business owners, most that own them, the best way to be successful is to be in front of a camera 90% of the time.
Yeah, you get the more because the more you're in front of the camera, the more comfortable you get, and you
Yeah.
don't care
Well, the
anymore.
people that just recognize who you are.
Yeah,
Like, oh, Alexis from Bloom, Alexis from TRA, blah,
it's
blah,
true.
blah.
It's true. Um, on top of everything else, last year, toward the end of last year, speaking of influencers
Yes.
and people that were relatively important, Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
I'm sick.
Yeah.
It's sick.
It was gross. It was a gross video. Not that there would be like a good video, but there's been a lot. It's not even so much the assassination itself as all of the conspiracies around it. And I will say, at the WWE funeral,
Oh my God. Don't even get me started.
when Erica walked out, I said, something's wrong here. This is not, I thought it was weird. It was weird. And people, and initially everybody was like, oh my God, I can't believe that people would judge a grieving widow. And so I stayed silent.
I
And
did
listen,
not.
I'm in the entertainment industry, so like who am I to have an opinion on any of this shit? But then again, it's like, well, somebody fucking died, so kind of a big thing. But they said that like there was a lot of stuff, and then there's the storyline of the official narrative of what happened, and it just doesn't
No,
make sense at all.
no,
Like,
but not even a little.
but it just goes back to like, do they think we're stupid? They
That's what I
have
was
to
just going to
think we're
say.
stupid.
At this point, all of it makes you feel dumb. And if you question it, you're the asshole.
Yeah,
And at this, I just don't get it. I'm sorry. If my husband died, I
yeah.
would not be on
Camera
a
ready.
Zoom call
Yeah, the next day.
talking about t-shirt and hat sales
Hmm.
the next day. I would be with my children.
Yeah, sure.
Like, what?
Why is
I
it?
also wouldn't go see my husband who got assassinated with my head of funding and not my mom.
Yeah, I thought
Like, why weren't you with your mom
that was weird.
or your
I
sister
mean,
or
listen,
whoever? I don't know if she has a sister, but like whoever.
a lot of the stuff surrounding the way that they acted was kind of weird. And by the way, like in any murder investigation,
Hmm.
the typical first like suspects are the spouse.
100%.
The spouse, the family, people that are closer, who would want this person dead? Well, who do they know? Let's start with the family. They obviously know their family. Let's start with their coworkers. Let's start with was somebody going to get a promotion and then they got a promotion first, and so then now they ended up dead.
Yeah.
Let's talk to the guy who wanted the promotion as well. But also, regular police investigative work is supposed to talk to everybody. You're supposed to ask as many questions as possible, and everything surrounding this circumstance with Charlie Kirk's assassination has been, don't ask questions. We told you what happened. That
Where were
doesn't make sense to me.
No, where were you when you found out?
In the car. In the car on the way to a friend's house
Did you see the
in
video on your
Malden.
phone or
Yeah,
someone sent you?
my friend called me and said Charlie Kirk just got shot, and I was like, "What? No way." And like, is he all right? Like, I didn't, because we also had the Trump assassination attempt
Mhm.
last year as
Oh,
well,
which we could talk about too.
or 2 years ago. Last year, right? In June.
Mhm.
And that was kind of bizarre, but obviously
Also,
nothing happened
investigation
there.
called off, just saying.
Yeah, no, which is a whole other conversation. We can get there. But I said, text me the video. I'll look at it. Because I said, did he die? And my friend on the phone said, I don't know. This is just a crazy video. And I watched the video and I called him right back and I was like, he's gone. There's no way. There's no way. And then they said it was a 30-06 that shot him. And I went, there's no way. There's no way. Like I grew up North Shore, Mass. I have a lot of friends from New Hampshire, friends who lived on the North Shore and then moved to New Hampshire, and a lot of them have arsenals of weapons.
Mhm.
Which is their American Second Amendment
100%,
right?
baby.
Like, live free or die, that's fine. But I've shot some of these
Yeah.
guns, and that wasn't no 30-06.
No.
Okay, his head would have come clean off. Like that's
They would they take down a moose.
or two.
Yes.
Like that's
That's what they can do.
right.
Now, I'm no ballistics expert.
No,
Not
neither am I.
claiming to be a
I'm
ballistics
not
expert.
either, but I'm also not a fucking idiot.
No,
So, I mean,
exactly.
that's that.
But do you notice when I asked you,
Yeah.
Where were you? You knew exactly every detail.
Yeah,
There
that's the
I
thing. When
was,
you have a traumatic event happen, you know exactly where you
but
are.
why wouldn't you ask anyone that was there?
Yeah, they can't
They don't
remember.
remember anything.
They don't
That
remember
is
anything.
just so bizarre to me.
Yeah, I know. I know. There's one aspect of this Charlie Kirk case that I haven't seen anybody talk about yet. And I think that I am kind of coming at it from a video production standpoint.
Mhm.
Okay. If you compare the Trump assassination attempt to the Charlie Kirk assassination attempt, or not attempt, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. If you compare those two instances on video, there is a big difference that I feel like I'm noticing, and maybe I'm crazy, and whatever. I'm not an acoustics expert either. But if you watch the Trump assassination attempt, he reacts to the bullet, and then you hear the sound of the bullet, and it sounds far away because the kid was on the roof away from him, and sound travels slower than the bullet, okay? The Charlie Kirk one is instantaneous, loud, explosive sound, and it's at the same time that he gets shot. There's no delay. And I watched it, and I just noticed this like over the past couple of weeks because of this pretrial hearing that they
Mhm.
were having. And so like everything's been circulating again, all these videos and all this other stuff. And it really is instantaneous. And some people might say, well, he wasn't as far away or whatever it is, but there's like no echo. There's no,
But
you
if
know
he
what I
was
mean? Like
that
if
if
a
he wasn't that
gunshot,
far away, there's also no surveillance video of this even happening.
no, no, but you're not even,
I
yeah,
I
I'm
know
not
what you're
even there
saying, but
yet.
I'm just saying,
When you're
like,
watching fireworks, you see the firework and then it goes ba-boom.
yeah,
This was instantaneous, like as if it was happening
at the same time.
at the same time in the same location, and
Mhm.
no one's
No.
talking about that. No one's trying to explain that, and I find that to be very weird because there were obviously multiple mics. He was holding one. He was wearing one. There were microphones all over the place. So if there was an explosion, that the sound went into that mic and then was blasted out to the speakers, right? Like that would be something that happens, but it would have to go. The explosion itself would have to go into that
Would be from the
mic.
mic.
How did we hear the explosion so clearly if it was on a roof 168 yards away or whatever it was? Do you
Have
see what
you
I'm saying?
followed, like, Candace Owens'
So
thing?
I have a little bit. Sometimes her voice can be so grating. I'm sorry.
I
It's
love
so,
her.
I know, but she can get a little whiny sometimes, and it's like it gives me a headache. But also, why does it like
Why is she the only one is what I wanna know. Why
why?
is she the only one
Yeah.
obsessing over this? This is what I don't
Well, she's not the
understand.
only one obsessing over it, but she is the only one who's doing real like journalism,
Yeah,
I would say.
she's really looking it up. Regardless of what you want, whether you like her or you don't like her,
Mhm.
she is like, she's a true friend.
Yeah, I would expect you to do this if I got
If
assassinated,
you 100%.
you know? I would do it
I
for
would
you
wanna
too.
know, like, it doesn't make sense. Why aren't we
And
making make
by
sense
the
of
way,
things?
why would like the cops or the FBI or anybody else like not want people to ask questions? Now, can I say one thing?
Mhm.
Because there is a difference between like, so regardless of whether or not Tyler Robinson did kill Charlie, regardless of whether or not Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk, he still deserves a fair trial because that's constitutional right.
Yeah.
Now, if he did it, I think the death penalty applies. Okay, that's me. If I was on the jury, I'd vote death penalty if he did it. Hold on. If it was proven that he did it.
Yeah, with
Okay,
what?
but that doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve a fair trial.
No, I agree.
With that being said, a fair trial includes holding back things until the actual trial. They had a pre-trial hearing, which took a week to do, where the prosecution was supposed to present their most damning evidence that like
Did you watch
literally
it?
oh yeah, we're getting there. Like they're supposed to present the thing that the judge is supposed to go, there's enough evidence here that he deserves a fair trial that we need to go to.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything that said this is Tyler Robinson that did it.
No.
Like, I didn't see anything at all.
Um, do you know,
That's
it
crazy.
was so it
And
was so orchestrated that you couldn't even orchestrate getting this kid convicted right. Do you know what I mean?
it's
Like, if
wild.
you're gonna create this big narrative and make this story, because let's be real, like this was all orchestrated, hands down. There's way too many things that have gone wrong that don't make sense
Sure.
for it not to be like, "Hmm,
Yeah.
what happened?" But you're telling me you can make this big, huge story, but you can't come up with how to get this kid convicted because now the professionals that you have hired are telling the truth and saying there isn't enough DNA or it's fragmented or it's not there.
So why does this matter to an esthetician and a film producer? Like, why do we give a shit, right? And why should anybody give a shit? The reason is because if they can slap charges on a random person that they want to like put in jail or put to death to take the like they could do it to one of us.
100%.
That's why everybody cares right
But
now.
no one would care if it was a regular person. You know
Not
what I mean?
necessarily. Well, oh, you mean if somebody got
Yeah,
no? I
it,
mean
it
but
wouldn't
that's a
be.
huge deal though.
Yes.
If this is the way the system works when it's a super famous person, how many people are we putting in jail or putting to death that didn't actually do the crime because we just need somebody to take the fall for stuff? It pokes a huge hole and creates a huge conversation about the system, and it's not the way we were taught the system works. A
No.
fair trial means that if there's evidence, you provide the evidence and then the jury decides whether or not you're guilty. And I'm not even saying that Tyler Robinson's not guilty. Like maybe he is or maybe he's not. I haven't seen anything though
No,
that says he's guilty.
but I also haven't seen anything good enough for an arrest.
Yeah, I just don't.
There's nothing that I'm seeing that I'm like,
I'm just very
okay,
grateful
it's
that the person
speculation.
I'm just very grateful that the person who shot Charlie Kirk wasn't like 6'2", 500-pound Italian guy, because then I'd be fucked. They'd be shipping me out. I like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be crazy if that was the case. So do you just grab everybody who kind of fits the build of Tyler Robinson, or
I think there was many
it's
things that
crazy?
that happened that I don't understand. Now, you and I both grew up in a time where like I feel like everyone watched CSI and everyone watched, Law and Order and all these shows. Like,
Sure.
the first steps of anything would be to like secure the scene.
Oh my God, I
Can we
know.
just talk about that? It was two separate companies that were hired
Hmm.
to not only dig up 10 inches of the
Dirt
ground,
underneath, yeah,
but then to pave over it was a different company.
yeah.
Why? I own a construction company. You would never do that. The people that do the paving would also do the excavation.
Yeah, we
It,
could literally do an hour on every single thing that has come out that is like, we'd be here all week. It's like not there hasn't been one thing done where I'm like, oh no, that's how they're supposed to do that.
yeah.
That's
And if it
normal.
and if the process has changed, like let me know. Because I have
I
talked
hope it
to
hasn't, because we're screwed if it
but you know
has.
what I'm saying? Like at this point
Yeah.
I'm questioning myself. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends in law enforcement and they're like, Alexis, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah.
And it's not at one point, you had your opinions, and I think that you couldn't really say much in the beginning because
Yeah.
there wasn't much of anything, right?
Yeah.
But I watched that video more times than I'd like to admit.
Sure. Once is too many. I don't want to see
There's
stuff like that.
there's none of it makes sense if you just listen to what you know now and watch the video. You're like,
Even at the time. That's what I'm saying. Like
there was a name right away.
the entire process, everything was like weird. There was I just saw a video very recently where they like replayed, and you don't remember things. Like it's not our job to investigate
Yeah,
the
I know.
crime. So you don't remember every little detail, but they pulled up the press conference of the governor who said that he was on UVU not UVU. Is it UVU? The campus, Tyler Robinson, wearing one outfit. And then he changed outfits, went up on the roof, shot Charlie, changed up on the roof back to his original
Disassembled
outfit.
and assembled his weapon.
But on top of that, changed his outfits on the roof and then got back down and then ran away or whatever. And you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
But where's the surveillance from the school?
They showed it during
Yeah, but
the
it was AI, and
pretrial.
they said the judge ruled it out because he's like, we want it with no circles. It's
Okay.
AI edited.
Hold on. So yes, I hear what you're saying, but that's not entirely what happened. There was the one angle where you see the guy jumping off the roof, and then what they did was, because you can't really see anything in that angle, they zoomed in on that angle. They digitally
Yeah.
zoomed in and then added circles to kind of point out what it is that we're looking at. So they annotated the
Mhm.
video, right? So there's a lot of talk right now about how they AI edited it. They didn't it doesn't require AI to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, it is, whether it's zoomed in or not, it's the same angle. So all the judge said
Yeah.
was, you've already submitted this video as evidence. There's no reason to submit it twice.
Yeah.
It's not new evidence to submit the same video again.
Just enhanced.
The video is the video. So you submit the
So,
video.
but why is there one angle?
Well, that's the other thing. There's supposedly like 1,200 cameras on that campus.
Yeah, no.
And none of them, except that one, see Tyler Robinson.
They don't have him walking out. They can't. I'm sorry. But like
Right.
right now, if I wanted to know something about someone, like I can find your social security number and everything about you in 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not, there's no hiding anything.
No. So you're
Yeah.
telling me your cameras can't, okay, you see him on camera one jumping off the roof. So that means he's going to be in line with camera two. So let's look at camera two to see where like
Yeah, but
you
Lex,
can
that would
make
be
a map.
normal. But that would be normal. That would be what people are
It
supposed
just
to do.
doesn't make sense.
Correct. Yeah, I
And the
know.
conspiracies now are just like compiling and compiling
Well,
and
and then
compiling.
from the governmental side and from like the, I guess, turning point side, they get all upset and bitchy when people are creating conspiracies. But the only reason that there are conspiracies is because there hasn't been transparency with the information to begin with.
No.
All you have to do is say what happened. Here's what happened. Here's all the evidence. It was Tyler. Look, it's him. There you go.
Well, Candace just posted
Yeah,
that she
I
saw
know.
the
Yeah.
video from the car because they were, first of all, I don't know who in their right mind would be like, okay, we're taking this man who's gushing blood at this point
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to video him.
What do you mean? What do you
There's
mean?
a
When?
video
What are you talking
from
about?
the car, from when they were in the car.
They videoed him in the car.
Yes, and on the ground is all glass on the floor. The the glass
Glass.
matches the same well, glass, plastic, whatever, that matches the road mic that was on him. So there was particles everywhere and they took his clothes off apparently. Like they ripped his clothes off, which makes no sense because his wound was on his neck, so like you wouldn't need to like
Well, the one that we saw was on his neck.
yes, but you what other wound would there be because there's no blood on anything and he wore a white shirt.
Yeah.
There's no exit wound. First of all, as someone who works with physicians all the time, the fact that they even said that he was like the man of steel, his neck was
It
so
just is such a
strong.
shitty way to
Come
do it. It was like so
on.
dumb. It didn't make any sense.
I just feel
I
like
don't
all
get
of
it.
this is like a dog and pony show. Like, what are you going to throw at us? Whether it's Trump, whether it's Charlie Kirk's thing, whether it's Israel, what shit are you going to throw at the wall and see if it sticks? All of us just don't care. It's getting to that point where
Well,
like
so
this
this is why
is
when you asked me in the beginning, are we going to see any sort of action be taken on behalf of the American people? I don't completely dismiss it right away.
no,
If this was like, you know, I don't know, 5 years ago, I'd be like, nothing's going to happen. Will you just be quiet? You know what I mean? Like, let's do
no.
a podcast, shut up, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You know me. Now, I don't know because the lies between Trump's promises not kept, then the Epstein debacle, and one thing after the other. First, you lose, it's like distrust. So if you have
Mhm.
someone who's telling you, let's break it down to something kind of simple, right? In summation of all of this stuff. But this is kind of where the mindset is. If I tell you, I'm going to edit this video for you, and you go, great, I need it Friday. And Friday comes and goes, and you don't get the video from me. And I go, I know, I'm sorry, but I had this excuse as to why I couldn't do it. And you go, all right, Nick's a good guy. He's a little loud, but like, whatever, that's fine. Can you get it to me by Tuesday? And I go, yeah, I'm so sorry. Of course I can, bro. No problem. Tuesday comes and goes. You don't get the video. So at one point, you're going to get annoyed,
Mhm.
right? And then you're going to like dismiss it altogether. At what point do you fire me? At what point do you go, you know what? You're not going to do the video. And I don't care if you're going to do the video now or not because I've waited too long. And now it doesn't even matter if you do the video. I wanted
Yeah.
it 3 weeks ago or whatever it is. That's the revolutionary
Yeah.
part is like at first people get a little annoyed and they go, well, he doesn't do anything anyway. It's crazy. But at some point people are like, well, this isn't, now it is affecting my life. And your bullshit that you're doing out there with the lies and the conspiracies and the spending money on all these different wars and everything, it's still, none of it's helping me.
No.
So like maybe we need to try this a different way. And that's definitely where people are headed. You can do whatever psyops you want. And you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
I
it's like
think there's a
some people
lot
are
of
just not going to care.
and even like the media stuff where it's
Yeah.
like they're making all these videos like that one he made with like
Yeah.
Nick Massey.
Yeah.
Like it's just all noise at this point. It's like I want something, show me a result from something. I don't even
Mhm.
care if you're like, "Oh, I don't care what it is. Like, just give us something that we're like, okay, that's a win." I feel like everything we're looking at, we're just like waiting. And there's a lot of very powerful people,
Mhm.
Sean Ryan being one of them, one of my favorite podcasts to watch. And he's like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this shit. Like, there
Yeah, but what is
needs
he
to be
doing?
there.
What is he doing to change it
He's
though?
doing a lot of legislation with different stuff that I think is really cool. Especially like all the stuff. Like he's really gaining traction with like getting rid of these people as many as he can. But what can he do? You know what I mean? Like like
But
what
that's
can
where
any of us do?
that's
But
where everybody's at
are
right
we
now.
all in this like where it's not I think if you're living in the world where you think it is Democrat versus Republican, gay versus straight, any of this bullshit, you're sleeping. You're done. It's not that. It's
Yeah.
like elites versus you. And
Yeah.
there's nothing we can do to fix the system. It so we just sit here
Yeah.
and we chat.
One of the craziest things to me are like all of the influencers who are who you like trusted, who you like be like, "Oh yeah, I like this person, I like that person." And then they are all on the crazy Charlie Kirk train of being like, "Oh no, it was Tyler Robinson. We saw a video." Like when they said they played this video that was like, you see him crouch on the
Oh yeah.
roof, you see all that. There's nothing. You don't see anything. You don't see anything. And they lied. And I don't think they expected the fact. Like, this is why you don't lie. I tell you all the time, like, this is why you can't lie because you'll always get caught. You
Yeah.
always get caught. It always comes out. There's always, it's dumb. And you just lose all credibility and you look like a fucking asshole on top of it.
Yeah.
It's like not a good way to be, you know? So I'd rather just be an asshole up front, but be a truthful asshole
Yeah.
as opposed
Be
to,
honest about it. But
right.
I think the media is going crazy in general. I mean, like, look at Megyn Kelly
What about her?
getting crucified right now because she doesn't agree with the war. They're mad
Yeah.
that she doesn't agree with it. They're mad that she's not a Zionist. Like they're mad. It's a whole that's a whole other topic of conversation,
Mhm.
which is touchy. I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about Israel at all.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you think Russia killed Lindsey Graham?
I don't know.
I don't either. Maybe. It wouldn't surprise me.
I think, and I
He
have a
was the
couple.
most pro-war and anti-Russia person that we had.
I I think that Russia has probably the capabilities to take out whoever the hell they want. I don't think that you know what I mean? Like, why would that be the target? You know what I'm saying? Like, if that was who they were gonna pick,
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
But then again, I also feel like, I have clients that are from Russia that I've spoken to, and they're like, we don't want to go back there. It's very different than over here. I'm like, we
Are you
get
an
it.
asset?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like, I think what we have been taught as kids here
Yeah.
about Russia, I don't think maybe is true.
No, they
But
have
I
to
don't
pick an
know
enemy.
because I think that they told us a bunch of lies in school. So
Yeah. Did they ever tell you like why it was worth it to steal Maduro out of his house at night? And
yeah, what was up with that? Like,
well, we
did
just
we?
wanted the oil. We said that that's our oil now.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we're just gonna.
It's just mafia tactics. That's what it is.
It's just like we're gonna up and take this guy.
My point. So here's my thing, right?
If you're
I
gonna be mafia about it, at
yeah,
least
so here's the thing with the
do a
mafia,
little
because
finesse.
well, yeah, a little bit. But here's my thing with
Look
mafia stuff.
good.
The mafia, like literally Cosa Nostra in New York,
Yeah.
right? Their whole vibe
Yeah.
was we're not paying taxes,
No.
and we're going to be our own police, and we're going to secure our neighborhood, and we're going to help our own people. And if someone gets out of line, you got to do what you got to do. But
But it works.
well, it worked, yeah, for them for a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
And but my point with it, right? Because they did a little bit with drugs, which I don't like or whatever. But
Got to make money.
the main point of it, yeah, they did it through construction mostly, you know. But their like code of honor and all this other stuff was to benefit their own people, to protect their own people. So I always say, whatever powers you have,
Hmm.
whatever your power is, use your powers for good instead of for evil.
Hmm.
Now, if the U.S. government is using mafia tactics on Maduro and Ukraine or Iran or whatever it is, that's using your powers for evil. What would you do? What would life be like in America if the government was like in favor of all of us, including like immigrants, like
Yeah.
everybody who lives here? If the government was in favor of us and used their powers to actually benefit us on a regular day-to-day basis, as opposed to fighting wars for Israel, fighting wars for Ukraine, like, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of money going over there and no money coming to us.
I just interesting that we're the only country that dishes all this money out, but no one gives us any money.
Why is that interesting?
Like, why?
Because we've been duped into doing that that's what,
Like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, what business
because they
model
give
is?
money.
But look at the business model. Like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna give all this money
Yeah.
away. But nothing
But
nothing is happening.
this was another reason that everybody wanted Trump to come in was because he's a businessman, right? He's a businessman. He can run the country like a
Do you
business.
think he's running it?
At this point, no, I would say no. I
I
would
don't
have
think
to
he's
say
running it.
no. Um, I don't I don't see that being possible.
I don't.
I don't
If
know.
you were to be president
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
what would the first 5 things that you would do?
Oh my god.
First 5, most important to you first
Well,
5.
I'm not running for president, so I can say pretty much whatever I want.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, like, this isn't
no,
like
no,
a
I know,
PR
but like
thing.
it's
But
it's
when you
rough.
do, we're gonna
Yeah,
have
yeah.
this clip.
No, well, yeah, sure. Yeah. Shut the border down, obviously. Like a complete moratorium. I would say COVID allowed us to work from home. So if you're international, you don't need to come here for business and you don't need to leave the country for business. I would say we totally shut everything down for at least a year and just focus on infrastructure, filling potholes, building bridges, getting people back to a point where we're focused on internal stuff. Farming, all that food should go to the grocery store here, not the grocery store in China. And I would literally kind of shut it down. And people would bitch, and by that I mean heads of state from outside. They'd be upset, and I'd say, "That's great. You're not doing anything to help us, and we're not. I'm not playing this game anymore." And then there's some other stuff we would have to deal with internally, like
I would get rid of
people.
all of them.
Yeah, I would just
Like,
I would
all of them. There's
I
not one of them that
yeah,
I would be like,
there's not much that you can do with regard to, like, Congress and the Senate. That's the thing. You have
but
the
that's see, that's
separation of
bullshit.
powers.
I think that's bullshit. I feel like there should be term limits. You should not be
Well, that's yeah, but that's not for the president to do. So you just asked what I would do if I
yeah.
was president. First 5 things. It would be, delegate and run on a platform. I would, I'd maybe put some ads together that were, like, exposing people for what they want to spend money on. And I would simplify legislation. You don't need it to be 1,500 pages to say you want to fill fucking potholes. Just say
Yeah.
fill all potholes. Go. That's it. Whatever
Yeah.
that costs, go. It's one sheet, one sentence. Why do I need 1,500 pages for that? It's kind of ridiculous. And they do that on purpose so that we are confused and they know none of us are going to read these laws that are 1,500 pages long. So we go, oh, yeah, well, whatever. That's their job. It's whatever. I also would try and remove the celebrity from the in America specifically. Governmental jobs and political jobs are supposed to be jobs that nobody wants to do. We're a free people. You have to run the country. You have to run the infrastructure, but we don't have kings. And like your congressperson is supposed to represent the people in its district. And so the idea of America is the upside down triangle, whereas the monarchy is the regular triangle. Everything goes to the king at the top. America is like we are all the kings and queens, and we
Mhm.
send these representatives to work on our behalf. That's the whole idea of America. And so when they don't represent us properly and they act like they're celebrities that we can't touch or talk to, like, no, the biggest thing for Americans to realize is that like the regular people are the people with the power.
Mhm.
And that's why it's important to vote and you show up and you go because it's like, oh, I voted you and you're not doing anything. You're out. You're out. And stop paying attention to the ads. Cause like if we were running against each other, my job is to make ads that destroy you and vice versa. You don't pay attention to those. You pay attention like, well, Alexis has been in office for 5 years. She ran on a campaign saying this is what she was gonna do. She didn't do any of it. So I really don't care what she says about Nick and how bad he is. She's out. That's
Yeah.
the main thing. And we have to take that more seriously. But we don't. So we're here. It is what it is. It sucks. Wonder where we're going from here. What do you think? Where are we going in the next 5 years? What's America going to
5
be like?
years?
Yeah, what's
I
it going to
don't
be like?
know. I honestly don't even know who's gonna run.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's
I'm
the
not
other
voting for
thing.
like Gavin Newsom or whatever. Not
No.
after, like, you
No.
can't look at California
And be
and
like,
say,
"Oh, that's a good job."
yeah, right,
Like,
exactly.
your gas is 9.75 a
Right.
gallon.
Right. I don't
No.
care about the slick and the shininess of people anymore. Like I don't
No.
care how well spoken they are. If anything, I want some old guy from Maine, some toothless guy from Maine to be
Did
like,
you see the people that
cool.
were running in Maine?
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
a songwriter,
I can't. Yeah.
and
I can't.
I
Yeah.
just have
That's a
tried to
rough one.
run before. G You know what I want from that man
What?
or woman? What I don't know what it was. Um, the
Stop.
confidence. the
So bad.
balls to stand
Oh,
up
he that
there
she had
and
balls.
know what I'm saying?
She had the
Yeah,
balls.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, for you to actually think, like, you believe in yourself that hard and you're that out there, like, you're like, I would, you got some big cojones. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, she did.
You know? I, like, I can't imagine. But what I think's gonna happen, I think people are gonna get angrier.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And I think it's gonna get to the point where, like, I don't know how well orchestrated this, like, takeover or something would happen.
That's the scary part.
Because that there's no, like,
Right.
uniform way of doing it because you
Yeah.
have a lot of angry people and a lot of ammo. Um,
Yeah.
just saying from a gun owner, like, the ammo situation has been a little crazy. I've been, like, hunting for certain stuff lately, so I've noticed that's been a little different. Maybe
Really?
yeah. And I live in New Hampshire, there's guns everywhere. Gun
Yeah.
stores everywhere.
Yeah.
I make it a point to go to all of them because I like to, like, meet all the owners. They're really nice. I have one
Yeah.
State Line in Plaistow, love them.
Yeah,
Um
there's a lot going on right now that's a little crazy,
Yeah,
but
I just don't know how they're going to orchestrate such, like, who do they put in charge, right? Because you don't trust anyone. No one trusts anybody right now.
yeah.
There's no trust anywhere.
Yeah.
And now everyone AI is causing its own
How do you feel about
problems.
these flock cameras that are coming up everywhere now?
But
Everybody's
the
talking about these AI surveillance cameras that everyone's doing with the
back in the day, wasn't it the pigeons? Like, what didn't
Yeah,
they
no,
all
this
say
is
that
real
it's the
though.
same
But
thing?
no, but this is like a real thing where a private company is putting cameras in, and then you know how they like sell your data on Facebook and
Yeah.
stuff. But now if you choose to have a flip phone and a standard transmission car or something, they can still track you and
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
gonna.
Like,
There's gonna be no, but there's no privacy here anyway.
yeah, but people don't like that, is what
You
I'm
know, I
saying.
agree. Like, listen, I
Yeah.
would love to live off grid and not do any of this shit, but
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
eh, but there's no. I think people are gonna be mad, but there's no way around it.
Yeah, I don't know any other
But it's the
way.
it's
It's like a
the
pressure
it's
cooker.
like the
Like I don't
data
know.
centers I'm a little concerned about. One, because do I think they're gonna generate jobs? Yes, they will, right? Because you're gonna need electricians, you're gonna need HVAC guys, you're gonna need plumbers to be in these AI data centers because they require a significant amount of water. Like,
It sounds like communist Russia to me.
it's insane, right?
Yeah.
But no one's talking about the health implications of what these centers could be because there's no regulation around them. So there's no regulation about what they dump their cooling water out that has full of chemicals. Like, there's no regulation that they can't just dump it in the, like, Merrimack River.
Right.
Like, there's no regulation with that. Also, our bodies are made up of water.
Yeah.
Frequencies are a very big thing. Our bodies run on frequencies. If the
Yeah.
energy's not good, you're going to feel it. That's a true statement. These facilities create a humming sound that is can drive you crazy. Now, I didn't believe it. I thought I was nuts. 2 weeks ago, I
Mhm.
have a client, her mother has had serious problems with her pacemaker. She's lived in the same house 75 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Never had a problem with her pacemaker. The data center opens up in Lowell and expands to on her side. The frequencies from the data center are throwing off her pacemaker that is keeping her alive. Now, that's a small example, but
Well,
I'm
no,
sure
that's
there's a
important.
lot
I
of
mean, that's
people that are going through the same
yeah.
thing because it's also messing with people with insulin pumps. Like, these are things
Yeah.
that keep people alive. So I think that's a whole other topic you can get into. Yes, do I think AI
Let's take
is
it let's go
useful?
back. Let's go back a step here too, because why would it be important at all? Or like why would the data centers come up at all if the town where they're going to put a data center votes against it?
So
And then they bring it in anyway.
this
How is that legal? How is
so
that okay?
when I was reading up on the one that went in Lowell,
Mhm.
initially it was supposed to be one area.
Yeah.
And they let it go for that one area because they promised jobs. Well, then they expanded without going to the town. So everyone in Lowell that voted against it wouldn't matter because they didn't go to vote for it. It was already in. There was no vote for them to expand. They were just allowed to.
Right.
Or there's like a moratorium for 6 months and then they just go back to doing it again.
Right.
And they're just buying streets out, buying houses out.
Why do they think that people won't snap? Like why do they think that people won't they're not bad, no one's going to do anything. Why do they feel that way?
Because I think that they think we're sleeping and we're stupid. And I think that they keep us, they're
Yeah, but
taxing us.
the worst type of people to piss off are stupid people
Yes.
because they do stupid shit.
But I think that we're at the point where they're just like, okay, well, they can't afford anything.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have to work. So we have to keep
Yeah.
them busy fueling the machine.
Should have taken the guns away first.
Yeah,
Okay?
well, you know what I'm saying though? That's how they look at it. In my view, they look
Yeah.
at it like we're stupid. We're not gonna fight back. I mean,
Yeah.
I fought back in the town that I used to live in over a water line. And
Yeah, but like
I made
yeah.
videos on it. There was hundreds of people that showed up. There had
Yeah.
never been anyone that showed up to town meeting. They had to host it at the high school because we made it so big for people to show up.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do. No
Yeah.
one knows what to do when there's 60, 70 people, 80, 90, 100 people saying, let's not do this.
Yeah.
Raise your hand to vote. Like, I don't think that, I think people need to get involved in their government, but I've also been on the flip side where you try to get involved and you try to do something,
Mhm.
and there's so much red tape
Yeah.
that it's stupid and you don't feel the time because you don't have the time to do it, whether you have kids, a family, a job, or business, whatever you have.
Yeah, you got to make the time.
But they make it that way on purpose.
Of course they do. That's how
Like,
they
they
stay
make
in
it for
power.
retired people, and I'm like, "Listen, retired people aren't making the best decisions. It's
Yeah, so
us."
you know how like I and this might be controversial, don't really care. I think that over like at retirement age, every like 2 or 3 years you should have to retake your license test. And the same as you can't vote till you're 18, I think that after retirement age you shouldn't be allowed to vote either. That's it. That's
No.
it. You shouldn't because like
The
you're
problems that
so
75-year-old had
correct.
when they were 30 is significantly different than the problems we have now,
Right, but if you
you
keep
know?
only working age people
Yes.
in voting, and that means men, women, all races, whatever it is,
Yeah.
genders, whatever the fuck. But if you keep only working people as voting people or working age people as voting people, then you stay with the times. And for people that are like, well, all the young kids would take all the benefits away from elderly people. No, because if you put laws in place that take benefits away from elderly people, knowing that someday you're going to be elderly, like why would you do
Yeah,
that?
it makes no sense.
Right? And you'd want to take care of your elderly
I
parents
agree.
and grandparents and everything else. So like it's kind of a moot point altogether. But the problem right now is that the boomer generation is like still so big. And this is the other thing. In 20 years, none of the it's sad to say, but it's true. 20 years, none of them are going to be around anymore.
No,
So
but
like what happens then?
have you also seen the younger generation, though?
They're the most conservative anti-AI. There's a lot of events that are popping up that are no phone events where they don't even bring the
Yes,
phones
but
in.
on the flip side, have you seen the ones that they're like, "I don't follow this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Why do you care?" And they spend all their time on TikTok. Like, they're not
Yeah.
there's that side of it too,
And
where they're just
60% of them can't even read anymore. I
yeah.
used to get bitchy about the fact they don't teach cursive, but like 60% of people can't even read at all anymore, which
Is
is
that
kind of
really
the
60%?
kids. Yeah. Yeah. They don't, it's
I
like
don't believe in public school. I think that that clip that I sent you the other day still
oh, the crazy
boils
lady. Yeah.
my blood.
Yeah.
I think that I don't understand. Like, I think the first thing I would do if I was Department of Education, see you later.
That's what I thought they were doing. They were
It is
trying to
such
abolish the Department of Education. Now it's just
and
Linda
this isn't
McMahon
this
running
isn't
it.
like a MAGA Christian bullshit. Like, I'm not. No, I'm coming at the angle of the fact is what you're teaching is irrelevant. It's
In
irrelevant.
public school?
Yes.
I didn't learn anything. I wish I could
No,
go
but
back knowing what I know now so I could do less, and I didn't do anything
yeah.
then. The fuck?
They're just gonna pass you through. Like, they just
That's what they
push you
do.
through.
That's
My
what they do.
brother has literally a 6th grade education.
That's not
I'm
a
not even kidding. He has a 6th grade
is that a
education.
brag?
No, but they pushed him through.
Yeah.
He was an impulsive kid that like got in a couple fights playing football, so they put him in an alternative school, and they were literally coloring in the lines as seniors in high school.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a great
That's
place
gonna
to
that's
that's a
gonna
great
really
place to
raise
end it, I
great
think.
people, right? We're really rooting for the people.
Yep. All
Like,
about the future.
yeah, no.
Love the
I
future.
I think that that would be my first. I would be like, "Bye. You gotta go." But I think a lot of this stuff on the media now is turning into a religious thing. I think people are making things a
Yeah,
religious
they're always
thing.
going to find some. The reality of the situation is that we're free people with, you know, we have, whether you like it or not, we have agreed to and set up a system that includes all races and religions and genders. So we're here. Here we are. Okay? There's no religion that's better than the other
No.
religion or whatever. You believe whatever you want to believe. But we do have to have a common ground somewhere of like, okay, we're all going to live this way.
Yeah.
That's what the Constitution was for, which is why there's no religion in those documents. But it's like Swiss cheese now. Like they don't even,
I don't even think people look at the Constitution.
which is dumb, which is dumb.
I
But
don't
it's
even
hanging in the Oval Office. Or the Declaration of Independence is hanging in the Oval Office. So
I don't think anyone I think everyone looks at those documents and say, "Well, those documents were made at a time that was so different than now."
yeah,
But
believe
the
me.
principles
Yeah.
should still be upheld.
Yeah, I think that the words themselves should still be upheld exactly
Like,
as they were written, but that's just me,
we
you
don't
know?
even run that way now.
No, no, I know. So I'm saying if
I
we
mean,
were
on the
ever,
topic of guns, right? You have the right to bear arms. You shouldn't have to have I think it is ridiculous that you have to have a permit in every single state
yeah.
that you have. There's no like
Well, the point of the Second Amendment is for us to defend ourselves against a tyrannical government, which is why we started the United States in the
yes,
beginning.
but if you're going to make it so hard for people to get them, doesn't that violate that?
No, no, I agree. I was going to take it a step further and say whatever the military has, we should be allowed to have as citizens of this country, weaponry wise.
Yeah.
Now, that there's a lot of stupid people out there, and you may not want everybody to have that, but that's not the
But
point of the
bad
Second
people see,
Amendment.
but I don't
The point of the
yes.
Second Amendment is for us to be able to defend ourselves against our own tyrannical government. So if they have crazy helicopters and tanks and everything, like you're allowed to own a cannon. I don't know if you know this, and put
Yeah.
it on your front lawn of your house. Like you're allowed to. You're allowed to own a tank. Might be difficult, might be some red tape, but you're allowed
Yeah,
to
you
do
can't
it.
drive on the street. I actually looked this up the other
And
day.
people say, well, that law was made and that, amendment was made when they only had muskets. And my point is that yes, but so did the military. We had equal It wasn't like they made the law and said the citizens can only have knives while the military has muskets. We had equal
Yeah.
defense mechanisms to our own military. That was the whole point.
I put a gun range in my house at my
Oh,
house.
that's cool.
Yeah. So on the 4th of July, we had so much fun. We had friends over
Oh, that sounds
and
safe.
no, we don't drink. So it was, I mean, like it wasn't like you were mixing alcohol with it,
Sure.
but it was very like structured. Like everyone, like
Yes,
obviously there was
because
no,
nothing's ever gone wrong sober with a gun before.
no, but you know what I mean? You think
Go
4th of
ahead.
July, you think
Sorry.
alcohol.
I'm
Like
just
I
I
don't,
get it. I get
but
it.
so it was such a fun time and like perfectly legal. We have the parameters all done right. Like, so the cops get called because the people in the neighborhood behind me, which is like 2 acres away from me, but the way that we built it, the banking, I guess, like makes the sound
Oh, you're
go
bouncing sound to your
bouncing
neighbor?
sounds over there.
Interesting.
So
Kinda goes back to my Charlie Kirk thing. Go ahead.
yes, so we're shooting. I think we did like 500 rounds. It was like
Sounds
insane,
fun.
but it wasn't even
Did you
until
invite the neighbors?
so my neighbors, yes, but my neighbor
Did
who
you?
the reason why the cops came was because my neighbor came and he has like an arsenal. And when you're firing automatic weapons, it
Yeah.
doesn't exactly sound like a boom shot. It's like boom, 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 boom. And so
Yeah.
that's why they got caught because people were
Okay.
nervous.
Yeah, here's the issue.
But like,
Here's
what are
the
you
issue.
nervous about? I didn't shooting at your window.
Final piece of advice to anyone of any age. Whenever you throw a party, you always invite everybody
I
in the
did.
vicinity. Personally, you went up to these people's doors?
No, they don't like
Stupid. That's my
I
point.
wouldn't
You
go
didn't
up to
do
the
it the
doors
right way.
of people in my
That's okay.
neighborhood because you
It's
might
my
get
job,
shot.
is to tell her when she does things wrong. You go up to the houses, you knock on the, you say, we're having a party. Please bring guns and ammunition. Okay, that's what you say.
Yeah.
We're going to be shooting. We're inviting you. Then when the cops show up, they're not bewildered as to what's going
Oh, the
on.
cops were so funny. They
You
were
know,
hanging out with us. They were so cool.
I'm sure they were, but
3
I'm
of them
saying
show up, which is like the entire force
if you
in my
include
town.
people, they feel worse if they don't show up and they're like, well, maybe we shouldn't do anything. We should just let them.
I think that people, I mean, truthfully, 4th of July is the best holiday to have people over at the gun range
Who would
because
bitch about guns or popping sounds from 2 acres away on the 4th of July?
that's why we picked the 4th of July to like
Right.
to have everyone over and they can try to shoot new things, learn stuff. We got like cool new targets. Rob got like metal targets, so when you hit it, you could hear it, and it was exciting when everyone would like hear one. The kids would clap, like they'd be on the swing set up like 2 acres up, but they could see down, and it was fun. Like the kids thought it was hysterical, like it was cheering, but and the cops came and they were like, "This is perfectly legal. You
Yep.
guys did a great job. Like, this is actually a cool range." And I was like, "Oh, you want to pop some off?" They're like, "Listen, if we weren't working, we'd totally pop some off
Yeah, of
here." Like,
course.
they were like, you know, if we let any bullets out of our guns, we got to report it. It's a little bit of a
Yep.
problem. But they were like, "Hey, like after work, like we're gonna
I was at my buddy's
hang
house
out."
once in New Hampshire. We were shooting off the back deck
Yeah.
and someone called the cops and the cops showed up and the first thing they said, they were like walked up and like onto the back deck and they go, so what do you got there? What are you shooting there? Like
Yeah.
they like want to
No one
know.
cares. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like it's I think that
Well, once they realize that you're not doing anything
yeah,
crazy,
I
then
feel
they,
like once, like, if you're safe about it, like,
yeah.
they walk up, they're like, "Please secure your firearms." We're like, "Yeah, buddy," like, they're all on the table, like, our hands are like, we did it right, like, we just walked away from the table, everything was set up, like,
Hmm.
whatever. But, I don't think they wanna bust your balls on it, you
Well,
know?
it depends where you are.
Yeah. If you're in, like,
Depending.
Lawrence, like, maybe
Yeah.
not, but,
Yeah.
like,
I was gonna say.
where we are in New Hampshire, like, it's not
If
really a
you're in
huge
Southie
deal.
popping them off, you might have a little bit
Yeah.
of an issue. You know
Yeah,
what I
300
mean?
feet from a domicile might be kinda hard over there. Actually, I don't know
Yeah.
what the Massachusetts law is, but
Yeah.
I don't think you can have a
Massachusetts
gun
law
range at
is
your house.
communism.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like very
Who do you think's gonna
difficult.
be governor?
Who gives a shit at this point? Who
Really?
cares? Yeah, they're not going to do anything. They don't do anything. I think Moore is an idiot. No offense, but she's not do it. She doesn't do her job right. Charlie Baker didn't do his job right. Nobody does their job right. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, I don't really Mike's really nice, though.
Yeah,
I met him. He
maybe.
was a really nice guy. I mean,
We'll
not
figure it out.
maybe Mara's nice too.
We'll see what
But I
happens.
follow a lot of the groups, on Facebook, and one of these girls' groups are like, "I want Mara to stay because I like my rights." And I'm just really
It's the fucking bluest state in the union. What are we talking about here?
but I don't understand. Like, I don't what rights would you lose if it turned red?
Yeah, this is what
Is
I'm
what I
saying.
wanna
People,
know.
yeah, it's all drama
So
for
what do
no
we do?
reason.
How do we
What do we do?
how do we better?
We
What do
talk
we
about it. We get out there and we talk about it. That's what we do. And we complain and we all die together. We all go down with the ship.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. It is what it is. I don't know. I'm optimistic. I like to be optimistic and think that maybe someone somewhere will do something worth something. But you never know. You never know.
I'm kind of scared yet excited to see if we have like this
I
third
think it'll
party
be
uprising.
interesting. I think it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens because it won't. Nothing will happen in Massachusetts. That's what I'm
No.
saying.
Yeah, New
So we will
Hampshire.
watch the rest of the country hopefully either save us or let us sink. But we can't do anything.
But what is letting us sink look like? Do you know what I mean? Like, how much worse do you think can it get? Do you think we're occupied?
Of course.
Like
Of
100%.
course. Yeah, my God. Yeah, hello.
Well, apparently we're going
Yes.
to be joining militaries with Israel.
Yeah.
Just read because they don't want to pay
Yeah.
the fees, so they think that if there's a partnership, they get away with
They
the
shot that down.
financial.
They shot that down
Oh,
recently.
did they?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
They were like,
that's
"No,
actually good.
we're not doing that." Yeah.
Oh, well, at least someone has a brain.
Yeah. By the way, that goes for any other country.
Yeah, I don't care who it is.
Yeah,
I'm not sharing.
that's not an anti-Israeli statement. That's an
We
anti-everybody statement. Equal hate across the board. I'm American only first. I don't care about anybody else, you know?
no.
And with the World Cup and the way they were talking about Americans here, it's a little crazy, you know?
We're saying what?
Oh, every country. Some of them, like the Scottish people, were nice. They were like, "Oh, I
They had
love
a lot of fun in
Boston."
Boston. My friends were having a blast with them.
Yeah. Yep. But there's just a lot of people that were shitting on the US of A. Not a fan. Go home. Go home. Watch it on your TV at home.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I don't.
How about you learn how to install AC over in the Europe?
My
You
thing
know, how
is
about
like,
that?
if you don't like somewhere, then like if I went to someone's house and I didn't like how it smelt or the vibe or whatever, I'd leave.
Right. Right.
So why do you get to stay and hang out and reap the benefits and
I
then
don't know.
talk shit?
I don't know. I don't think you should. We wouldn't. If we went somewhere else and we were talking shit, they go home. What are you doing here?
Yeah, they'll just arrest you.
Yeah. Yeah. Won't be pretty. Pretty
Yeah,
much
or
anywhere
worse.
else. Yeah. Yeah. We'd hope we get arrested. Yeah, that would be interesting. Well, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thanks.
having me on. It's always good to catch up. I hope you're doing well.
Hopefully we have like an answer or some sort of signs of,
Yeah.
some positivity the next time I see
You'll-
you.
yeah, we'll have an answer. Maybe everything will get shut down. You never know. But who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Tune in, guys. I don't know when this is coming out, so
Who
we'll
knows?
figure it out.
We'll see. Depends on your budget.
Oh, here we go. It's always a money thing.
Thank you.